Okay, so I am going to do, I think, three more videos to complement the video I just did talking about visioneering and how to make the vision part of yourself. And in specific, I'm going to talk a lot more about how to basically gather a group, quote unquote, recruit for your business or recruit for people to help you join your cause. I don't care if it's trying to be a professional ball player. I don't care if it's trying to be, in some sort of business. I don't care if it's trying to be going to school. I don't care if it's ministry, whatever. You're going to have people. If the vision's not bigger than you, then chances are you need to get bigger vision. And bottom line, especially if you want to impact, that's a huge thing. So one of the things that when you talk to people, one of the things that you're going to have to come to grips with is you're going to have to stand out. Bottom line is you cannot change people. You cannot convince somebody who's not hungry. There's a phenomenal apologetics guy named Ravi Zacharias. And basically, what he ended up saying is, after all my years, after all the things that I've seen in my life, I'm convinced that I can't change anybody. And that's pretty interesting coming from a guy who's very well versed. So, there's three things that really make somebody stand out. One of them is making sure that you have a peace about you. No matter what your circumstances, there's an utmost peace that people can identify with. The second thing that really makes you stand out when you're talking with people in general is the fact that you have good relationships. It's one of the most basic needs that people have is relationships. The third thing that you can do is you have good character. It's one of those things where it even causes suspicion sometimes because nobody's right for right's sake. But bottom line, having an awesome sense of peace about you, the fact that you need to have a piece of community or a piece of relationships, and your relationships are not falling apart for the sake of your vision. And the third thing is making sure that you have good character. Bottom line is people can trust you, they can observe you. And I'm going to go through a lot more details on that, but those are the things that when you're talking with people, again, you don't necessarily recruit people. They make themselves very well known. The people that are meant to be part of your vision are going to be very easy and simple to identify because they raise their hands. You're not going to have to pick them out of the crowd and mold them and shape them yourself. In my opinion, the key is talking with as many people as possible, everyday life conversations. And when you feel like the vision you have is so ingrained in your soul that that's what you are, and they ask you, what do you do? This is what I do. And you talk about the impact, because nobody cares about the black and white details. If you say, I'm an accountant, that doesn't carry anything. But if it's so part of you, it should just roll off of your heart. You should be able to, you should have to stop, catch yourself, oh, sorry, I'm kind of going off again. It should be blatantly exciting that you have a hope somewhere in your life. And I'm going to go into each of these three more details a little bit more, in detail, I guess you'd say. But yeah, just the fact that you want to meet as many people as possible. I've heard it said before that you want to have what's called drips or sense of awarenesses, where hey, I'm somebody here. Let's say that I want to create a network of people, and out of those people, let's say I want to be a pro ball player. There's got to be somebody that's got to help me somewhere along the line, because you never know. What if your car breaks down on the way to practice, and you need somebody to pull you out in the clutch to be able to say, hey man, I need some help. What if you're, I don't know, what if you're past due on rent? And what if you're so at the brisk of succeeding, but you just don't have any money? Who are you going to call? Who are you going to talk to? What if some unfortunate circumstance happens? Let's say that you're breaking up a fight. Let's say that you're breaking up a fight and it totally wasn't your fault. You're wrong place, wrong time because you're helping some woman that was getting bullied on New Year's because their drunk boyfriend was beating her. But, as far as the cops saw, you were the one that's trying to defend her. Even though you were trying to do that, you're the one that got into a fight, and let's say you end up in jail. Who in your network, who can you call and who can you talk to that's good with the law, or good with the lawyer, who has influence with the police department, whatever, that they say, yeah, I can vouch for this guy's character. That's why it's so important to build your network, because everybody should be a connector in some way, shape, or form. Everybody has to have somebody that they could go to in some sort of circumstances. And these people shouldn't feel like you're trying to sell them. They shouldn't feel like you're trying to do something, to manipulate them to get them to buy something. You're only friends with them because you want their help in that sense. you have to build it with a sense of love too. You have to build it with a sense of how can I bless you? How can I serve you? Yes, I want to be a pro ball player because this is my vision. This is how I want to impact people. But just get good with loving people and meeting as many people as possible. And back to the touches thing. Um, it's funny because the network that we have is usually from living in the same geographic area, so we're kind of forced into that. You know, my neighbors, the people that were my age that were my neighbors are part of my network, quote unquote. Family members, obviously, and that's just something I was born into. So that's why we're kind of forced together in one network. The people I went to school with, I never went to college, so people I went to high school with, and the only reason why they're in my network is because we were forced into one place at one time. And then people that I work with. And again, it's just because we were forced into one place at one time. But we're never really taught the art of how to network. We're never taught the art of how to do something with your life that build an intentional network without making people feel manipulated. We're not ever taught to have your constant resource, because obviously I would rather have somebody that I know be an expert at something than me be the guy. I don't want to have to master something. I'd rather be the friend with the guy who mastered something, right? And I'd rather be on his good side, and I'd rather be on the one serving him. I'd rather be the guy that I'd rather him be say there's nobody else I would do this for except for Steve, but I love you, dude, for sure. It'd be my honor to serve you. You know, that's who I want to be friends with. That's how I want my network to be. And how do you intentionally do that? So that's what I'm going to start to go into a little bit more detail on in terms of how do you build an intentional network. And again, to me, it's just talking with as many people as possible, blessing as many people as possible, and doing something with your life that they notice. Because the people that are meant to be your connections, the people that are meant to be part of your life in some way, shape, or form, they're going to make themselves stand out. And your network should not be people that you know you don't trust around your family and spouse if you have one, or kids and all that stuff. It should be people that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So, in my opinion, these next 3 videos I'm about to make are how you do that.